Good morning, friends. I think I last said that we were going to get a snowstorm, and big surprise, it was not much of a snowstorm. I just got to work, but like it's already melting off. Like barely. They said we were going to get 8 inches to a foot. It couldn't have been more than like 6 to 7 inches, and also it just like started melting immediately. But I can hear the vacuum on right now. Since it is dripping everywhere, it's obviously above freezing, which means the sap should be running today, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it's nice to have snow on the ground anyway, because keeping the ground cold and freezing nights and keeping some snow around is good for the sap season. So it's all good. I just think that the weather people just can't get it right. For real, we were like, there was a snow day at all the schools, like a snow day, and it was really not necessary in my opinion, but they're probably anxious to use a snow day because we haven't had any like real good snow. Oh man. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like I feel like I'm getting sick again, and ever since I had COVID like a couple years ago, I feel like my immune system is not the same. Like I never used to get sick, and now I get sick. Like I feel like I've been sick all winter, like 5 times. I don't know. Comment below if you feel like that happened to you. Maybe I'm just like working more than ever or something. I don't know. Just like getting older and getting more susceptible. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so probably maybe boiling tonight. See how it runs. It's still early in the morning right now, so we'll see how the sap runs today. Hi friends. Beautiful snowy day. I guess this is the start of the snow. We're about to get, I guess it's a nor'easter because the winds are supposed to be over 40 miles an hour. And we're supposed to get a vague amount of 1 foot to 26 inches of snow. So that's a big range. I'm not really sure how they can say it's such a big range and not really know, but so yeah, big snowstorm coming, which I guess it's already started. So I'm going to fill the wood rack because, you know, once there's 2 feet of snow on the ground, everything just gets a little bit harder. And we're going to boil up everything that ran this weekend. So before the snowstorm comes, we're just going to get through all the sap that we can. We'll collect today. And yeah, I'm just telling you that because I know in my last video I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about the actual boiling process and what goes on in the evaporator. So I was going to touch on that today. And yeah, I'm just starting my day out though with filling the wood rack. So gonna get that done. I also have to run to a rental car place today to pick up my rental car because, well, I'll just insert a picture here of what happened to my car 3 days ago in the Walmart parking lot. Basically, a 87-year-old woman thought that she was pressing on the brake and she pressed on the gas, slammed into a 2022 truck. The truck slammed into the cart return and the cart return got pushed into my car. Anyway, I gotta run and do that before we start boiling. But first, let's load the wood rack. Alright, she's full up. Gonna let the floor dry a little bit before I sweep. So one of our sap customers is here with sap. And we're pumping it in right now and measuring it. Man, it's so hard to talk out there when the pump is on. So that sap gets pumped in and it gets fed through the RO and ends up in a tank right above the evaporator. And then any overflow, that it keeps flowing into that gathering tank, that stainless tank that I just showed you like the sap dumping into, and that gets fed through the evaporator. So it kind of works in a circle. Anyway, I'll explain a little bit more of that when I'm out there and there's not so much noise going on when we start boiling later, but today is a crazy day. Sam's out feeding the cows, so then we're out doing wood, and then the sap customers are here, and another customer just like came in the back room. He was like, hey, I just left money on the table for a quart. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many people here. It's also been a popcorn day. Mom got up early and started making 5 batches of popcorn. So, lots going on. But it's all good. Alright, we got a seltzer to go. I gotta go get my rental car. Here I am in my Nissan Kicks. I've never even heard of this car before. I'm getting the mail. And I got a package. Is there anything better than when you get a package? I don't think so. And I can see that Sam is boiling. So I gotta get in there and help him. Okay, so a little bit of the aftermath of the snowstorm. Today's like windy as hell, so there's really bad snow drifts forming everywhere. But yeah, we definitely got like 16 inches or so. Also, I swapped out the rental. Like, they literally gave me a car without 4-wheel drive, and I was like, do you know we're about to get a snowstorm? And also, we live in upstate New York. Like, why are there even vehicles up here that don't have 4-wheel drive? So, went back and got a Blazer. It's alright, but definitely not going to drive around in something 2-wheel drive. So, they just didn't have anything else when I first picked it up. So I was like, I guess I have to take this. But then I called like 3 hours later and I was like, no, I need something else. And they were like, okay, just come back later today. So I did. Whew, it's also freezing. It's only like 20 degrees. So when the wind blows, it's like not warm. I really need to like probably walk the woods later this week, because after the wind that we've been having, like I think they said like 40-mile-an-hour gusts. Like, you never know what could be down in the woods. So that's probably in the next couple days. I'll go back up into the woods now that there's like tons of snow to walk through, but might be definitely necessary because we've had some serious weather. And probably tomorrow we will boil. I feel like I keep saying this, but we've been holding sap for a couple days just because of the weather. And so when we start boiling again, I will fully explain the evaporator process. I keep getting so busy and then not really fully explaining how the sap moves through the evaporator, which is supposed to be the point of this video, I swear. Anyway, gotta get inside. I do have a couple wholesale orders that came in and regular mail orders, so gotta shovel my way to the chicken house, I think, and get my day started. Since we gave the cows some grain, and now they're trekking through the snow to have a snack. Hi, fluffies. Mom and I are going to trek through the woods ourselves and try to get an eye on all of the main line and make sure nothing is majorly disrupted from the storm that we just had. But it's going to be very slow going because the snow is like 2 feet deep. See how this goes. Definitely slow going, but not a bad view. I actually think there's just like a slight breeze, but I think I can hear some of the leaks already. It's supposed to be in the 40s and like sunny today, but until it thaws out, because it was like 20 last night, you can't really hear the vacuum, but I'm pretty sure I can already hear the vacuum in some spots, and I did see some movement in some of the lines, so that makes my job a little bit easier, but not really, because I can't walk every single line in this snow. I'm just trying to make sure there's no main line down mostly. Oh man, but it is so gorgeous. Okay, I'm trying to get on this rock wall. Taking the high road, aka the rock wall. Also, this part of the video is probably just a bunch of huffing and puffing because this is a serious workout. So here's one of the smaller main lines. Just looking for shit like this or more serious, where it's like under a branch weighing it down. All right, I'm gonna need both hands. I mean, you probably get tired of me saying this, but like, come on, just gorgeous. Love being a landowner, you know? Look at these open spaces. Finally, people getting to ride. See a bunch of snowmobile tracks up there. Oh, so pretty. I'm getting really hungry. And I'm really glad I left my jacket, because it's like really hot. That's what they call warm work, where it's work that makes you warm. I love these bibs. Like, Carhartt pretty much doesn't do me wrong, but these are like not one of those like winter material ones, like they're 4-6 Extreme or anything like that. So like every time I am in the snow, they just get soaking wet, which is not the best. But I don't know, I didn't want to wear like my snow pants, you know? I don't know. These just have like all the pockets that I need. Can you even imagine that there's years where we have to tap in this much snow or more frozen? Like the worst is when it's like crusty on top, but with every step you like break through. Like, can you imagine walking to every single tree in that condition? No. I'll answer no. Random, but I just thought of this. This line is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just saggy from being in the snow down there. And I don't know if I said this, but these O-rings, if you just pull them away from the tree, they actually work as like line tighteners. So now it's like, I don't know, almost a foot higher up. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but like as if you loosen it, it gets saggy, but you can tighten it up like this. As long as you have a drop line, that makes it work. Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
So it's kind of raining right now, but it's warmed up to mid-40s today, so the sap is definitely running. I might actually have my dad explain a little bit of the inside, because now that everybody's here, like, I feel like I'm always the one on camera. So since he's always helping with boiling and has been doing this for, I don't know, 30 years, I thought that, I don't know, maybe you guys would like to hear somebody else explain something for once. But I just came outside because I wanted to tell you guys that we have these two tanks right here. This one we call the 40, and then inside, that bigger one, we call the 50, just because it fits what we used to use mostly of the 40-gallon barrels of sap. So it fits 50 40-gallon barrels, and this one fits 40. So anyway, any sap that gets collected off the hill or that a customer brings gets brought into the 40, and then any sap that runs off of our hill right down to the farm comes into the 50. And those two tanks are what gets filtered inside, and then through the RO, and then filtered inside. And sometimes they'll end up getting pumped back as an overflow into one of these tanks, and then they might end up going through the RO again, which is fine. That's what I was saying about, like, it just gets reduced a little bit more or concentrated a little bit more. Yeah, you do kind of talk loud.
So the concentrate coming out of the RO machine is fed up to that tank in the rafters, and that gravity feeds to a float box down here. And this goes into the flue pan, which is our channels that are 7.5 inches deep, and it increases the heating surface of the back pan kind of thing. So you get a big rumbling boil back here. The float box, there's a divider in the middle of the pan. One pipe goes through the divider and down towards the front pan on the other side. One on this side goes in and down this side. So we start this flow. Right now it's being fed plug to the one on the other side. So it's going in this side down to there. Then there's a plug in the front pan so it doesn't go into the front pan. So it has to come back around the hole in the divider in the back. And so now we've started the flow. It goes around the divider and enters the front pan on the other side. So when it comes into the box on the other side, it goes into the front channel. And then the front pan is flat. It has 4 dividers in it. And it has a hole at opposite ends of the dividers, so it snakes through. So all this time that it's boiling and moving, it's concentrating, and the flat pan then can get to a point where it's syrup. And you draw off by temperature, which on this thermometer is 7, is actually 7 above boiling water, so it's 219 degrees. You should theoretically have syrup. It depends on the barometric pressure that day, whatever, that we draw a degree higher or lower. But we take it off by temperature, which we're doing here. And there are minerals and what else? I guess they're mostly minerals in the sap that come out of solution at a certain, I think it's about 140 degrees, and so it actually comes out as a solid in the pan, and it starts to stick to the bottom of the pan. So to prevent a buildup, because this snakes just like a river, and the river would build up silt on the inside, and it's going this way and shallow that part of the river, whatever. We reverse plug in the back, plug in the front to the other side, and reverse the direction of the flow to knock down the sugar sand and take it back the other way so it doesn't build up on the pan.
So when we reverse the flow, wow, I don't think I'm zoomed in. When we reverse the flow, we actually just like switch sides of the evaporator. So like most people's evaporators are set up that way. They do have draw-offs where you can reverse the flow without changing where you're drawing off from. Just different pockets, but yeah, so when we reverse the flow, we'll switch from this side and then we'll start drawing off on the other side. So as a general rule, you kind of like reverse the flow every 2 hours or so just to keep yourself from getting anything burnt on the bottom of the pan. I'm on the other side right now, so this top will get pushed over and then we'll start drawing off on this side. Also, I'm sure a lot of this is really noisy, but I really wanted to film this while we were boiling just so it was a little bit more clear. But yeah, so when we reverse the flow and switch sides, usually you get like a big rush of draw, so like a whole bucket or 2 will bring off of syrup just because you're bringing your sweetest stuff that's boiling in that pan over to this side, so usually like you have a lot of syrup like right away. But yeah, so this weekend, I'm gonna get away from the noise. So this weekend is the first of 2 maple weekends, and I mean, it's depending on weather. Like, we might be boiling tomorrow, Saturday, but Sunday looks really cold, like not even above freezing. So anyway, Maple Weekends, we're gonna do lots of product demonstrations and sampling and probably tours of the room, but you know, you could always just watch our YouTube channel and you would get a full tour without even coming here. So anyway, I was just saying that because probably this weekend we'll be like explaining that whole process to anybody that stops by the farm. St. Patrick's Day goods. My family's kind of big on St. Patrick's Day because Collins is Irish, that's my last name. So, you know, we're all repping the green. Yeah, I don't know, I think I might end this video here. I think it's getting a little bit full, but I just wanted to make sure that I got that evaporator content in there for you guys because that's one of the most complicated parts to explain. I love what my dad said about the way a river flows and how the silt builds up, and that really explains like how the sugar sand builds up because it is just like a snaking flow, and that's why we reverse sides. So yeah, I hope that was clear, but if you have questions, please comment below and give this video a big thumbs up if you learned something, and comment below if you're happen to be local and you're coming by for Maple Weekends. I can't wait to see you guys, and as always, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do, and I'll see you guys soon for the next video.